Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Solaris Bus & Coach online press conference. During our today's event, we are going to share with you highlights of 2022, as well as we are going to share with you strategic plans for 2023 and beyond. Our main speaker today is going to be new appointed CEO of our company, Javier Iriarte. Before I give him the floor, I would like to kindly remind you that at the end of today's presentation, we planned Q&A session. You can send all of your questions at the email address, which will be displayed on your screens. So to not keep you longer in front of your devices, let me welcome on stage Javier Iriarte. Javi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mateusz. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you all to Solaris annual press conference. It is a great honor to be speaking to you today and a great opportunity to introduce myself in my new role. My name is Javier Iriarte, and at the beginning of this year, I was appointed as Chief Executive Officer of Solaris. Although it's a new role at Solaris, it's not a new company and a business at all for me. I joined Solaris in 2018 when acquired and integrated into the CAF Group, and ever since, I've been leading the transformation of the company and its growth strategy as part of the supervisory board. I am incredibly proud to lead and serve such a fantastic company as Solaris is. A company that has been always driven by innovation and technological development, with a clear purpose: change the image of public transportation. Today, to start with, I will share with you the key highlights of Solaris in 2022 and how the company has overcome the challenges that affected the market, including the transportation industry and all the players for a while now. I will also introduce you to Solaris' unique value proposition, which makes it ready for the challenges of the mobility of the future. Finally, we will look at our 2026 strategic plan, sharing our ambitious vision as part of the CAF Group, which is a driver of change and motivation for the better future of our industry. I would like to start with a summary of 2022. Cities today are developing extremely rapidly. In 30 years, 70% of the population will be living in urban areas. This, unfortunately, raises problems such as high population concentration, increased emissions, or traffic congestion. Looking at today's cities, one can see a great need for a change in the way people move. And this change has already begun, and public transportation will play a key role here. Importantly, the change has been supported by decision makers at EU level. Public transport is of key importance in every future mobility scenario. We can predict that there will be a reduction of the use of private cars in favor of zero-emission metro, tram, and buses, and other collective transport means. Urban passenger transport is expected to increase by 60 or 70% by 2050. And public transport is the greenest and most efficient way to travel. (2020 and 2021 were difficult years in the market. Yet, as Solaris, these were the best years of the company in the history. However, 2022 has resulted in another extremely demanding year. The COVID aftermath, broken supply chains were followed by a general economic crisis and a terrible and unexpected war in Ukraine, a conflict that is still ongoing. 2022 has been also a very challenging year for Solaris. We were not able to reach our invoicing and production plans in full, and hence we had delays in deliveries to our customers. As other players in the industry, component shortages heavily impacted the entire production process and the ability to meet our contractual requirements. However, all in all, we managed to minimize the financial impact thanks to the work of our people, the flexibility plans in production, an agile approach to logistics supply chain shortage and procurement, and the increasing mix of zero and low emission products in our sales. At the same time, it was a good year for the development of sustainable transport. As you can see, it was also the year of the largest investment in renewables and sustainable transport ever. The mobility transformation is unstoppable today. In Solaris, the green trend is even more visible. More than half of the buses that left our factories had alternative drives. What's more, 86% of our backlog is composed by alternative powered vehicles, electric, hydrogen, hybrid, and trolleys, out of which more than 60% are battery electric buses. But 2022 for Solaris has also been a year marked by hydrogen. Hydrogen is the fastest growing sector with investment more than tripling over a year before. Hydrogen technology is generating increasing customer interest, also supported by major EU subsidies as one of the key energy sources for the future. At Solaris, we are pleased with this interest and positive market trends. They only confirm the bold bet made in the past towards investing in the development of hydrogen technology for urban transport. In fact, today, we are one of the key players in the European bus market with a strong focus on developing green solutions, sustainable solutions. We employ more than 2,700 people, committed and talented people, in Poland and in over 20 subsidiaries across Europe. We have 6 latest generation facilities in Poland, and our service network has grown to almost 390 service centers in 29 countries. And in hindsight, we have already delivered 23,000 buses to 33 countries in the last 25 years. With a closer look to 2022, we invoiced 1,492 buses. This is the exact number as in 2021, and although we recorded the same sales invoice result, it happened in a more difficult context and with an increasing complex products mix. We are particularly pleased with the fact that 55% of the buses we sold in 2022 have alternative propulsion systems, meaning either zero-emission or low-emission buses. Actually, for the first time in our history, we delivered more electric buses than diesel buses. And this is only the result of a relentless effort for the last decade, consistently expanding our portfolio of zero and low-emission buses, along with the knowledge and experience gained. These figures prove that the transformation of urban transportation is happening here and now, and our prospects for the future and the short term will be even better. Now, let's have a look at the market and the statistics. We are still in a strong position in the zero-emission bus market, hydrogen and electric, with a market share of more than 11% in continental Europe, in a solid number 2 position. We, Solaris, are the European zero-emission bus leader in the industry, the company with the biggest experience and track record in the market. No other company has delivered more zero-emission buses over the last decade than Solaris. This makes us particularly proud. We have been serving public transport in Europe for many, many years now. Our zero-emission buses carry millions of passengers every day in cities with various sizes, different routes, in very different climatic conditions, from north to west to east to south. This is all we are, and this is what we will be. But if we have a closer look at the hydrogen bus market, we have achieved a 60% of a European market share in 2022, holding an indisputable number 1 position in the market. Again, this effort started over a decade ago, and this is yielding results today. And such results drive us to continue investing in this technology. The most recent example of such a strategic bet is our recent launch of the articulated Urbino 18 hydrogen bus. The observed trends and the market forecast only confirm the adequacy of the path taken. We see hydrogen technology as one of the technologies on which the mobility of the future will be based. And at Solaris, we are ready for the challenge. It is our responsibility as the leader to continue focusing on a reliable and efficient hydrogen platform that enables the grid transformation. And we are up to the challenge. I'd like to draw now your attention to our key performance in some of the markets. Poland has been number 1 for Solaris for the last 2 decades, and this year still is. Last year, we delivered to Polish bus operators 247 vehicles, reaching 43% of total market share. The Spanish market has been a very positive outcome, resulting in deliveries of 247 buses, the same as in Poland. Our share in Spain grew to a substantial 25%, which gave us the first position in this market, and this is a tenfold increase in the last 3 years. and one that I'm especially proud of. Other important markets in 2022 were Italy with sales of 138 units, Belgium with 161, as well as Romania, where Solaris share amount to over 25%. And this is only some of the highlights, with a very significant activity in other markets across Europe. All in all, I think that this is important to highlight the following facts for 2022. There was a significant increase of alternative drives among the buses produced, as I mentioned, over 50%. Transitioning all operations to a whole new mix has been a challenge, and this mix will surely grow as our backlog accounts for over 80% of alternative drives as of today. We are extremely proud that Solaris is the manufacturer that has delivered the largest number of zero-emission buses to European operators in the last 10 years. The brand with the biggest experience in the European landscape. We have 61% share in the hydrogen bus market and a very promising market traction for additional contracts. And finally, in 2022, Spain became the key market with a sale of 247 buses that gave us a quarter of city bus market share in Spain. Growing importance of Spain was one of our key goals, which is one of we are particularly proud that our efforts have paid off. Looking at the results of Solaris were heavily impacted by the market and economic situation in Europe and in the world. Supply chain crisis, part shortages, and extremely high inflation, together with the war in Ukraine, disrupted our operations, causing the impossibility to meet our sales invoicing plans and a significant drop in profitability. Despite these difficulties, we managed to contain the profitability impact. Today, we are on a clear path towards recovery due to the effort put in place and a solid commercial operations plan for 2023 and 2024. We expect to have improved financial results by the end of 2023, in a path to sustainable business in the upcoming years, and a reinforced business more resilient to challenges and crises. As a starting point, we have a sound order book for 2023. We entered the new year with 1,369 buses contracted, in a year where the order intake amounted to 1,648 buses. And the product mix for the next year is very positive, as I mentioned, where 86% of the buses will be zero or low emission. As you can see, the mobility sector transformation is already here, and we are at the head of that. To go in detail, our backlog includes over 150 contracts to 80 cities, ranging across all our full zero and low emission portfolio. Some of the key cornerstones are contracts for almost 200 electric buses from the operator Unibus in Oslo, Norway, what we are delivering as of today, 60 electric buses ordered by Event in Madrid in Spain, 75 electric buses from our frame contract with ATM Milano in Italy, 100 trolleys for Bucharest in Romania, or 25 hydrogen buses to Poznan, our home city. But what makes Solaris the first choice of a significant number of operators in Europe? What's our unique value proposition? We are prepared for the green transformation. First, let's take a closer look at the public urban transport industry itself. The market for electric buses is experiencing unprecedented growth. Even though the total number of city buses has fallen in 2022, zero-emission buses share in Europe achieve almost a 30% share in new registrations and 44% globally. What's more, the electric bus segment has projected to increase to a 60% market share in the upcoming years. As part of our strategy and anticipating that trend, Solaris is one step ahead by investing in the development of clean drive technology for almost 2 decades, and we will continue doing so. The wide range of bus configuration, a portfolio of proven zero-emission solutions, thousands of kilometers from various roads and different climate conditions. Our real-world experience has been achieved in each possible field to ensure the reliability and efficiency of our vehicles. One of our priorities has been and will be the close cooperation with our customers at every stage of the contract. This includes feasibility studies, service care, and after-sales service. That's why I can say with confidence that our solutions are tailored to the specific needs and preferences. Last year, we confirmed our electric bus number 2400, which is to be delivered in 2023. We also contracted the hydrogen bus number 200. Even though our first hydrogen buses started operating in 2022, our fuel cell experience backs to 2014 in the electric buses with fuel cell range standard in Hamburg. In fact, we have the most comprehensive portfolio of the market. One of the unique aspects of Solaris is the largest and complete range of zero and low emission buses. And after many years of constant work, I can proudly state that Solaris is the only manufacturer to offer a comprehensive range of low and zero emission solutions. I strongly believe that this together, portfolio, real experience, and market share, makes Solaris ahead of European competition. And there is no company without customers. One of our core values is customer orientation, and this must be proven by facts. Solaris has a very high retention rate, with over 50% of customers maintaining a long-term relationship with us. More than half of Solaris customers choose our products again. I believe this is a result of both a customer orientation and tailor-made offer, as well as our experience and the ability to provide innovative solutions. Last year, we achieved a 73% satisfaction index in our customer satisfaction survey. But the industry is not about selling and delivering buses, but about having a long-term cooperation in the operation of these buses and the routes of our operators. And for that, we have been continuously investing in after-sales and services. We have the most modern after-sales tools that assist cities in transitioning to a more eco-friendly and sustainable future. We keep a close eye on the market and following trends, implementing solutions that our customers expect and help them manage their fleets. One of them is ES Connect, our digital platform for operation. It is a state-of-the-art proprietary solution by Solaris that is being continually improved by our technical office. Today, over 1,700 vehicles from dozens of customers are connected to the software that manages modern bus fleets and allows us to continually improve for our customers. One of the latest developments also is the after-sales ES Synchro, which operates based on augmented reality technology. It is an extremely helpful tool during maintenance work, connecting seamlessly maintenance operators with our experts. It significantly reduces response times. Moreover, the tool puts the service worker in touch with experts in real time, allowing finding the right solution at the right moment. And having a look at the highlight of our products, I would like to emphasize three. First, Urbino 8 in hydrogen. Now, hydrogen technology has played an essential role in our development and sales strategy. In 2022, Solaris unveiled its Urbino 18 hydrogen bus, and we have already received the first order for this model, and it comes from the German market. The customer is the city of Aschaffenburg, which, in addition to 2 articulated buses, has ordered 10 12-meter Urbino hydrogen. We can't wait to see the buses rolling out as soon as 2024. On the other side, we have also successfully secured new orders for the Urbino 9 low entry electric, the smallest product in our portfolio and produced exclusively as an electric version. This product is the first one to phase out the ICE version, the internal combustion engine version. Over 30 units of the Urbino 9 low entry electric were sold to customers in Poland, Germany, Italy, Romania, and Spain. And the tender pipeline is positive, with the potential of hundreds of units of this product to be awarded in the upcoming months. It was also a very good year for this model for another reason. It has been honored with 2 prestigious awards. And on the other end of the range, we find our bi-articulated Urbino 24 electric, the double articulated one. It is a unique product on a European scale, both regarding the length and the specific design of the vehicle. The idea behind this vehicle was to create a platform for the future serial production of not only 24 meters with an electric or hybrid drive, but also trolley buses. And we have secured a number of contracts of our 24-meter product during the last months. First, the model ordered by the city of Aalborg will be working on a Plusbus BRT line in a 12-kilometer route and drives the passengers every 7.5 minutes. On the other hand, in Bratislava, our bi-articulated vehicle will serve on the busiest trolleybus lines surrounding the main railway station. And finally, 20 bi-articulated Solaris trolleybuses in Prague will be a perfect solution for the electrification of Metropoli, using a state-of-the-art in-motion charging system, another technological feature added to our company portfolio. But the future is what lies ahead of us, and our technical office works relentlessly focused on our future. A new version of the Urbino 18 Electric with a modular propulsion system, new battery technology in the roof, and enhanced connectivity is coming now. 3 elements of progress at once. In this project, we have focused on maximizing the functionality and performance parameters of the electrical articulated bus. The new Urbino 18 Electric will be equipped with a new type of battery with an unprecedented amount of nominal energy. New batteries will guarantee an even larger range on a single overnight charge. The batteries on the new vehicle are placed on the roof only, which allow a better layout of the passenger compartment and increased passenger capacity, in a clear response to our customer demands. The new Urbino 18 Electric will be equipped with a modular propulsion system, and it will be a bus without a so-called engine tower. The basic version assumes a central engine, but for sure our customers will also have the opportunity to change and choosing an engine with an electric axis. The new electric Urbino 18 is a result of the maximum technological advance at Solaris and the zero-emission bus industry as a whole. But on top of the new products, technology innovation has always been in our DNA, and we have always tried to follow technological trends, often being able to set them. Currently, our engineers work to maximize the battery's capabilities and achieve the best possible returns on top of battery range across technology and chemistries, which is extremely important for our customers. In addition to this, we are implementing a collision mitigation passive safety system and preparing intensively for the EU GSR regulation. Additionally, we are working on enhancing our cybersecurity in line with the state-of-the-art in the industry. And all this innovation will not be possible without the required investment. Last year, we invested over 50 million zloty in the R&D area alone. And continuing with investments, last year we completed 2 major milestones, 2 major investments that will help us design the better buses that are even better technologically and produce them in a more efficient and sustainable way. We completed our new warehouse with over 10,000 square meters, which is equipped with the state-of-the-art logistics systems and solutions. In parallel, the Solaris Charging Park is the most innovative charging park for electric vehicles in Europe. It has 8 stands for testing various technologies, pantographs, trolleybus traction, and plug-in solutions, in addition to the innovative vehicle-to-grid bidirectional charging. And this is already operating as of today. But beyond the product, the market, and the investment, I would like to stress out that any great organization is created by a team of great individuals. I would like to underline the efforts of all Solaris employees in achieving our ambitious targets and expected products and services. Being almost 3,000 people company, it is not possible to introduce every single individual, as you would understand. So please let me introduce you to the recently renovated management board. Some of the members on the management board are already well known by many of you and have been managing the company for many years. Others just joined the team to expand our horizons towards an even better future. Olivier Michard took over the areas of sales, after-sales, and marketing a few months ago. He previously had our French subsidiary and holds an extensive experience in the bus market, which will be certainly help us progressing. Dariusz Michalak, in the company since its founding, he oversees the R&D, quality control, and strategic procurement area, as well as the IT, in an effort towards an end-to-end technology and product view. Tomasz Barański who has been working in Solaris for over 20 years. He is responsible for production and logistics since mid-2022. Agatha Standa, who has developed her career across different geographies and strategic functions, took over the area of strategy and transformation from 2023, and she is also responsible for ESG. Iñigo Artamendi has taken over the role of finance, accounting, controlling, and M&A in a continuation of his previous successful positions of responsibility at the CAF Group. And Patrick Cava is in charge of human resources area in our company, and he will lead the talent agenda for the coming years, an extremely important element of our future. I am convinced that the board, as it stands today, will ensure that the objectives set are achieved. It will comprehensively further prepare the company for the transformation of urban transport as a team. But beyond this, let's have a look to Solaris as an employer. The most important part of our organization is made up of people, and we are determined to create a friendly workplace that guarantees our employees the best conditions possible and very high satisfaction. This year, our company celebrates its 27th anniversary, and during these almost 3 decades, we have developed very strong in terms of being an employer. We are one of the largest employers in the region, and thanks to our activities, our contribution to the public budget is as much as 120 million zloty directly every year. Additionally, we are creating indirectly, together with our suppliers and business partners, thousands of workplaces, heavily contributing to the Polish and European economy. We are aspiring to be the kind of attractive employer that most employees want to remain with the long term. And the numbers speak for themselves. We take also responsibility for our products throughout the life cycle and make effort to minimize our environmental impact, including through efficiency resource management and other measures. Our recent investments, Charging Park and the main warehouse, are equipped with photovoltaic panels completely covering the roofs. And this makes them self-sustaining investment that can produce over 300 megawatt hours of energy annually. Both 100% of the thermal energy is used in our main production facility and 100% of electricity used for our production processes come from renewable sources. As an organization, we are very aware of our impact on this environment. We fully understand that our business decisions are not just about what we produce, but equally important, how we make our vehicles from start till the end, and how we choose our suppliers, business partners, and main stakeholders. And regarding the social element, there are several steps that companies taking to be a responsible partner to the customers and supplier, a good employer, and a socially responsible company. Last year, we have successfully implemented the educational program City Mission, which promoted public transportation among children in our region. We also have engaged in helping our employees from Ukraine and their relatives who need support in the face of the war. And additionally, and for several years, we have been continuously conducting dual education programs, both at the higher education level and among high school students. Finally, we are also raising awareness of e-mobility through the eCity portal, as well as the annual Solaris Talk meetings by sharing experiences with customers and the industry as a whole. So we have been discussing the past and the Solaris unique value proposition today. But the most important opportunity lies ahead of us. I will now try to give you an idea of what's ahead in year 2023 that has just begun, and what our plans are for the near and distant future up to 2030. As a company, and as CAF Group, we have solid foundations to build the mobility of the future. We are at an indisputable position to lead the mobility transformation. We are constantly increasing and updating our green portfolio in response to the social demands for sustainable mobility. By being in the CAF Group, which has over 100 years of experience in the supply of comprehensive transit solutions for sustainable mobility, we have an integrated offering, and we are even better prepared for the future. We are offering from buses, trolleys, and trams to metros, medium distance, and high-speed trains. We offer the vehicle itself, the infrastructure, the signaling technology, or the components in the transportation industry. We support our customers with the hardware and the software. We are there for them. Therefore, we are at an unrivaled position to become the trusted partner to our customers, to build the mobility ecosystem of the future. And in 2022, we developed at CAF Group and Solaris our strategic plan, resulting on a clear vision and ambition towards 2026 and 2030. In brief, Solaris aspires to maintain its European leadership in zero-emission mobility in the European market. We will expand our portfolio to the European intercity segment, and we will enter North America with an exclusive zero-emission value proposition. As you see, the ambition is high, and we will build our future based on our solid foundations today. Now, our main focus will be to maintain a strong position in the zero-emission bus market in Europe, where we are already the leaders. In parallel, we are putting in place the future, and we are committed to the new opportunities that open up new markets and segments. Firstly, we plan to phase out the ICE bus production totally by 2027 and focus solely on electric and hydrogen capabilities. We have the ambition to become the first major player to phase out ICE production completely. Secondly, we will enter the North American market for urban buses. For the time being, we are looking at the US and Canadian markets and exploring the alternatives to set up sales and stable operations in 2025. The new market will let us capitalize on Solaris' advantages as an e-mobility pioneer in the urban segment, leveraging on the long-standing position of the CAF Group in the US. And finally, we will be entering the zero-emission interurban market in Europe that will further reinforce our current portfolio offer, expanding our existing customers and expanding our current markets. All in all, 2022 was a very challenging year, and we managed well. The perspective ahead is promising due to the zero and low emission backlog and the profitability recovery early signs. Our ambitious strategic plan is setting up a new and achievable horizons for Solaris and the CAF Group in new markets and segments. And as Solaris and as CAF Group, the future is ahead of us, and we will drive our responsibility in the mobility transformation ahead of us. So I look forward to engaging with many of you in the coming weeks and months. To start with, I would like to kindly invite you already today to join us at the trade shows and industry events that are going to happen very soon. This year, we will be present, among other places, in Berlin at ELECBU, in Barcelona at UATP, and in Brussels at the Bus World Trade Fair. I believe it will be a great opportunity to meet with you in a face-to-face mode, not just online, and talk about the rapid changes and challenges lying in the industry. So it's been a huge pleasure and honor being here with you here. I invite all of you to get on board on the mobility transformation. At Solaris and at CAF Group, we will be here to help making it happen, because it's needed for a better future for all of us, because it's for the upcoming generations. Thank you very much.
Javi, thank you very much for this very interesting and very informative presentation. I'm pretty sure that you already covered in your slides answers to some questions which we received during the presentation. Nevertheless, we still have a couple of them, and we'll try to answer all of your questions during the Q&A session. So see you soon in a few seconds. Welcome everyone once again at Solaris Bus Coach online press conference. And now we're going to start the Q&A session with the CEO of our company, Javier Iriarte. Javi, thank you very much once again for your presentation. As I already mentioned, you answer a lot of questions which you received during your speech, but we still have a few. And the first one actually came from our very well-known colleague from Sweden, Ulo Massing. Ulo, best regards to you. And the question is about the Swedish market. Let me read the question. So, generally, at least in Sweden, electrification of regional and intercity bus services have been pretty slow, especially compared to the city services. How do you see as the main reason for this?
Well, that's a good question. Thank you, Ulo. I think that, let me think, it can be due to Sweden has a very specific mix of transportation services between the city and the intercity, also derived from the architecture and how population is composed. I think that first, this transformation has focused on urban segment because of the highest concentration, and also potentially because of the higher availability of solutions for that. In fact, the service to intercity operations requires longer battery ranges, longer kilometers per day, also different speeds and class 2 certifications of buses, which certainly might have slowed down a little bit. I think that there is also an angle here on the financing and the business model. We know that the Swedish market is composed of many private operators that they will require the funding and the incentives to adopt this transformation in a faster pace. However, I think that the market is quickly evolving, and I think that the segment will evolve shortly. I think, for instance, that hydrogen can be a solution for that, as it provides the ability to have longer distances, enabling to electrify or make zero emission some of these routes. That could be in the future, and hopefully we will be part of that equation.
Mm-hmm. Thank you much for this answer. Next question is more, I would say, on the strategic level, and it is following. What's your opinion on the current state of the bus industry, given the promising trend towards zero emission mobility, but also to intense competition and high inflation?
I think that, well, 2022 has been a year full of challenges and opportunities. On one side, we had this very intense competition with many players in the market, high inflation that has made very difficult to maintain profitability in the industry, and also the supply chain context didn't help in order to secure and deliver our contractual commitments. Finally, also, it's important to say that there is also high price pressure, many competitors, new entrants, that in reality have made the market more complex than it was in the last years. However, we are lucky that there is also strong tailwinds, as the EU directives and regulations and the funding are helping in order to go one step ahead and foster this e-mobility transformation. From our standpoint, the industry is a healthy industry that is living a couple of bad years, with, as I said, some challenges, but I think that it's the industry itself, the one that has to go one step ahead and take the responsibility of this transition towards zero emission. I think that as a bus OEM, we have that responsibility. We believe that having a small fleet electrified can be seen as a few buses, but having the whole fleet in a stable manner operating for all the people, all the citizens on a daily basis is a huge challenge and a huge opportunity that we want to take on. And I think that we, as Solaris, but we also need competitors driving this transformation on the scale, because it's the whole ecosystem, the one that is going to build this mobility transformation.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for this answer. I'm pretty sure that the author of the question is satisfied with this information provided. And the next question, actually, we are still staying, let's say, in the area of economic challenges and financial challenges. And the question is as follows. You have indicated that 2022 was a challenging year, also financially. How would you explain this worst performance of the company in 2022?
Well, very happy to answer. As I mentioned before, 2022 was a year entering with good prospects, but the aftermath of COVID, the electronic component crisis, supply chain shortages, skyrocketing inflation and the conflict in Ukraine made a difficult year from the very beginning, and this has heavily impacted all the industry and also Solaris. As I mentioned, we had delays in delivery of some of our contracts, and profitability was eroded. Why? Mainly because many of the contracts coming from 2020 and 2021 with deliveries in 2022 was suffered on the costs and in the supply chain. That implied two elements: reduction of profitability and also increasing capital needs due to the inability to finish some of the buses due to supply chain shortages. However, we were able to deliver the same amount of buses in a very difficult year than 1 year before, something I think it's something remarkable. And looking ahead, we are positive as our backlog of zero-emission and low-emission buses is very promising, with many electric contracts over 60%, I was saying before, and also because we have done our homework. We have set down a recovery plan in order to work on the different fronts to make a more sustainable and resilient Solaris that is able to come back to the path of profitability that we were in 2020 and 2021 in record profitability levels in the industry. And we expect by the end of 2023 to come back to that path so that we are able to be again a sustainable and profitable company that is driving the change in the industry.
Thank you for that answer. And the next question, I would say I like a lot because it's about a very, I would say, exciting plan, exciting part of our strategic plans for 2023 and beyond. And it's related to the US market. And the question is following. In the presentation, you mentioned plans to expand to North America. Could you say something more about these plans to expand your presence beyond the European market? Does this mean that Solaris will sell and manufacture its buses in the USA, and when we can expect that? Sorry.
Hopefully, yes. That's what we want to do. In fact, as I mentioned before, we have been working hard on the strategic plan of the CAF Group and Solaris in 2022, and one of the core venues is the North American market. We have assessed many opportunities, and we believe that North America has some of the elements that we really want to focus on. First, it's a significant market, a reference also worldwide, where electrification it's coming at a slightly slower pace. So there's an opportunity still to be leveraged. Second, we are number one in Europe, and I think we have the capital to go there and make it happen. We have the technological knowledge and we have the ability to be successful there. And also third, it's important to note, we are part of a big group with stable operations in the US for decades, with manufacturing plants in the state of New York, with big contracts like Boston, Amtrak in the last years, and also operations in Canada with the new Calgary contract. So I think that there is an opportunity and leveraging all our strengths. That's definitely something that challenge we are going to take on, and I believe that we can be successful. For when, I didn't forget that you asked me that, I think we should be delivering buses and having operations in 25, 26, depending on the market context, different tenders, but that's the ambition, and based on that, roll out all the operations required.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the answer. We're looking forward, to executing these plans. The next question, at least myself find very challenging, I would say, but maybe it's not. The question is following. Why operators should buy more expensive buses from Solaris or other European OEMs rather than cheaper products from non-European countries?
Well, you are right. That's a difficult question. I would say that, I'm not going to be the one saying that you should buy from one or the other, European or non-European. I can say why I think I would buy European or I would buy Solaris. In reality, we are facing a strong competition also from non-European OEMs that many times are competing on price. And as I said before, I think that we can have, in one specific tender, price can be the key element and be the leading decision factor. But whenever we are thinking of something broader, something bigger, it's about transforming the urban transport, transforming the people, the way that people move in cities, transforming the whole architecture of how we live. I think it's important to have a solid base of OEMs, in this case, that are able to support this transition. And you can design, manufacture, and deliver a bus in 2-3 years. But the key element is the next 12. How you make that bus is a sustainable element of the transport infrastructure, and how it's combined with everything in the city, the whole ecosystem. And I think for that, we, together with other European OEMs, we are the right partner. And we have been investing in Europe and in Poland for the last decades. I think we are an important part of our ecosystem of this technological and industrial Europe, and I think it's important to keep some core competences. We have lived last months or last years how the supply chain disruptions coming from different areas of the world have impacted us. I think that to support such a transition, having a strong European network and infrastructure is important, and Solaris, together with many of our European OEMs and colleagues, are ready for that challenge and ready to make it happen.
Thank you much for this very comprehensive answer to this question. And due to the fact that we are limited in time, I think this is going to be the last question which I will ask you during today's session. Nevertheless, we'll try to provide you answers to all questions sent by email later today, and all of the materials presented today will be also available shortly right after our event. So this last question is about fuel cell buses. Solaris has a great success with the fuel cell vehicles. How do you see this market, and how this market will develop in the coming years?
Well, I can give my opinion on how it's going to develop or what's our view of Solaris. I mean, fuel cell is part of an ecosystem, okay? I think that we shouldn't make the difference like an electric or fuel cell. I think both are part of the same equation. We have seen good traction of hydrogen technology in some countries, also as part of some ecosystems. I've been lucky enough to be in touch with different operators. Last week, I was in Palma de Mallorca, in the Hydrogen Valley. They are developing with a nice and very appealing proposal, where we deliver 5 hydrogen buses. And I think that fuel cell, it's a perfectly complementary element for the whole urban network, that depending on the city architecture, the needs, and the different possibilities, can perfectly match the needs of each of the municipalities, each of the regions. But I wouldn't say that this is going to be the technology or the other. I think it's a combination of all of them. And I think hydrogen is a very positive one. We are seeing that Germany, Italy, Spain are investing heavily, or we have seen some important contracts on hydrogen, and also European support will help further materializing. We need to continue progressing on that, investing, and from our side, developing reliable and stable solutions that make the life of our customers and the end of the citizens easier and more secure.
Thank you much. Thank you, Javi, for this answer. Thank you for all answers to the question which we received from our viewers. And thanks for the presentation once again.
My pleasure.
As I already mentioned, all of the materials from this today event will be available shortly on our online press office. So you are more than welcome to review it once again. Also presentation and press release. So thank you very much for being with us. Thank you for your time and your attention, and hope to see you soon at the exhibition in ELECBU Berlin, UITB Barcelona, and Busforce in Brussels. Thank you and see you soon.